Tangerine has few different looks.
That's true. That's true. And some
How
of
you-
it is
How you
intentional and
compose and
some
put
of
them all
it
together. Yeah.
some of it's intentional and some of it isn't. I mean, we for the most part we had the weather we needed, but there were 1 or 2 days where we had to shoot under a overcast sky and suddenly you're dealing with a completely different look and we had to fake it to a certain degree. So that sometimes the weather dictated the look. We also shot a lot at near magic or during magic hour, or at least during the last few hours of the day, and yet it's supposed to take place over the course of a day. So it had almost the entire film has almost a magic hour feel to it, even though it's supposed to be taking place from like noon till midnight. Yeah,
People don't pay attention. As
That's
soon as it look visually attractive, as soon as it look justifiable for a plot, it
Yeah.
will be eternal magic hour, and nobody will pay attention.
right. Hopefully not.
Another question, which is probably now we can avoid iPhone situation, but let's delay it for a while. But if you would have a chance, because I understand it was economical reasons, and
Yes.
and as my old teacher used to say, let's make our defect our effect.
Right.
And you did perfectly. But just to playing with different side.
Yeah.
If you would have more money, more opportunity,
Yeah.
you would select some other cameras. Will it will look the same, or will as DP director?
Well, I think it would have looked a little. Say I did shoot it on film or shoot it on one of the
Or,
higher end cameras.
like
It would have
actor.
looked. Yeah, it would have obviously had a slightly different look. Hopefully, it still would have been. I still would have been playing with the colors in terms of saturation and the light in the same way. It's funny because I mean I look at this film now and I say to myself, this is Tangerine had to be shot on the iPhone. It was the only camera. It was the camera that was the most appropriate for this film. But I'm my own worst enemy. So, I probably have, if I went back in time and I was given, the money to do so, I may have shot it on a different camera just because I'm always, as a filmmaker, you're always trying to shoot on the best cameras. Looking back at Takeout, it's the same exact thing. I know deep in my heart that film could only have been shot on the PD-150. It was the most appropriate way. First off, I had to shoot clandestinely. I had to shoot in a business that we couldn't shut down. My co-director and I, Shi Ching Zhou, we were the only 2 crew members. I mean, we were the entire crew. So it only could have been shot on the PD-150. Tangerine only could have been shot on the iPhone, yet I still haven't learned my lesson. If I on the next one, if I have money, I'm probably going to try to shoot on the highest end camera I can shoot on, and it will probably be the worst
Then you
film
have
I've made.
then you have to question yourself and,
Yeah.
and check this
Yes.
interview again.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
Sometimes it's good to question yourself.
Yeah,
Movement in all your films, movement playing extremely important part. Like it became like one of the most dominating element in every of your films.
yeah. There's
Most pronounced it is in Tangerine.
Yes.
In this case, this kind of movement could not be done with any camera heavier than iPhone.
yeah.
So what have you used for movement? I know you used.
Well, that was-
I read story about using bike, using.
Yeah.
What was your?
Well,
main
I
movement?
wanted to be very open to anything with this film because I wasn't exactly sure what the feel and look was going to be just yet. I had shot some tests, but these tests were basically me walking around with the smoothie. But it was the first or second day of shooting in which I had my bike there on the set, my bicycle, it's a 10-speed bike. I got on the bike. I was able to this is the iPhone. I was able to, this was on a smoothie, a little stabilizer that I held with my right hand, and with my left hand I held the handlebar of the bike, and I was able to do these impromptu, sort of faux Steadicam shots and faux dolly shots, and just just play around. But for some reason, we looked at them right after we did it. We all played it back for the crew, and we thought this is a very interesting feel, and it's different from my last few films, but there's something that I like about this. It works with the environment that we're in this type of movie. It has to have this energy. And that's really, it basically came from experimentation, and we stuck with that style and continued it throughout the film.